Hey guys, happy Tuesday, November 27th. It is a little early, 11:20 here. Sorry, I'm another sound on. Hi, I hope everyone who's American had a good Thanksgiving, or if you celebrate it out of the country, I don't know why you would, but I hope everyone had a good holiday. We're heading into December, 3 days away from December, which is crazy. Got a lot of questions this week. I am out of the country starting tomorrow. I'm going to Iceland and to France. Really excited. I'm turning 30 in March. My husband just turned 30, so it's our 30th birthday gifts to each other. We don't really do gifts, we do places. So I'm really pumped. If any of you guys are from those spots or you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments because we're always looking for good stuff to see and to eat and to do. So anyways, moving on. So we got about 4-ish questions today. I'm gonna fly through them. I got some good suggestions. It's definitely stuff I've heard before, so I'm gonna give you kind of, not in this group separately, but I have some good ideas for you. So first question, Stephanie asked about continuing ed credits. She asked what I recommend to consider first. So this is going to vary for everyone. You can easily go online and look at all the options. There's 1,000,001 options. I've also done like conferences and things and gotten them submitted for continuing ed. So it doesn't have to be something that's on the website. You know, you don't have to do those online webinars or whatever they are. You can get creative with it. So look for things around, like if you have local conferences or workshops or even something in your gym, that could be good too. First, you have to consider what your certification is, right? So Mad Dog is going to have different types of continuing ed credits than Schwinn. Again, though, you could probably take one of the courses with a different entity and get them approved. You just have to submit them. So it can get a little tricky, but I think usually if you're doing something that's continuing your education as an instructor, it will be accepted. It just depends on how many credits you get. So I would suggest go online for the big, maybe Schwinn and Mad Dog spinning and see what they offer as continuing education, maybe webinars, just to get some ideas. So they'll have things focused on drills, heart rate, cadence, perceived exertion, cueing, different populations, so maybe aging populations. If you work with older groups of people, that could be helpful. Weight loss, things like that. It'll be focused on all these different topics. So what I would say is whatever interests you the most or whatever you're working on right now. So maybe you're having a really hard time building class profiles. I know they have plenty of stuff on that. Obviously, I offer the Psychopoet method. You probably get that approved. I haven't had anyone do that yet, but I'm sure it would be. There's all sorts of things that you can do. It really comes down to what you want to work on and what you want to learn about. So I would take advantage, if you want to do any of the online webinars, take advantage of the holiday promotions that are going on right now. I'm sure there's a bunch of discounts, so you could probably save a little money if you bought it now, and you don't even have to do it now. Usually you get it and you can do it on your own time. So consider that, because probably for the next few weeks there will be discounts, and maybe even in the new year. So you got time with that. But yeah, just whatever you're interested in, whatever you're struggling with. Honestly, sometimes the things that we're the most uncomfortable with are the things we need to work on. So when you're in front of class and maybe there's one part of class that you struggle with, or a certain thing that you do that you wish you were better at, that's what you want to work at. If not, if you have no idea, there's nothing that jumps out at you, I always suggest power training. The spinning power program is really great. There's a lot of other programs out there, especially if you work at a gym with monitors. It's really helpful to have a super good understanding of power and how to use it and how to coach people on it, because it can totally take your classes to a completely different level. So highly suggest that if you're at a loss, but I'm sure there's something that came to mind when I was giving you suggestions. So that's it for that. Kay asked how to combat the holiday drop-off in class attendance. We do a challenge during Christmas, but other ideas would be helpful. So that's interesting, Kay. We actually have the opposite problem. The holidays for us are insane. We run a lot of classes on actual holidays, and they're packed full. It's craziness, but it's really fun. I would say if you're struggling to get people in during the holidays, It's probably a promotional problem. I would say use social media, emails, if your gym allows you to do that, posters, get creative with it, have themes going on. A challenge is great. That will work really well. I don't know what during Christmas means, but you could do like a full month of December challenge or a January challenge. People love challenges. People love to like win, even if it's nothing. We just did a challenge at the studio. We called it Warrior Week. So people had to ride 5 times in 7 days the week before Thanksgiving. And if they did it, they got a shirt that said warrior status, which is awesome. People loved it. They feel like VIPs, the ones that did it. In December, we're running another challenge that's ride 12 times in the month of December with 6 different instructors, which is the hard part because most people ride, at least 10 times. So 12 isn't that hard, but 6 different instructors is a huge challenge for a lot of people because they get stuck in their comfort zone. So just get creative with it and make sure you're promoting the crap out of it. Like everywhere you can think, hard copy posting, brochures, social media, emails. And when I say social media, I mean Instagram stories on your own and on the gyms if they allow you to do that, Facebook, Snapchat if you're good at it. I am not, so I leave that out. Twitter, all that good stuff. Like the more places you can get people to think about your classes and coming in for it, the more likely you'll get full classes. Josette, we are insanely busy as well at my studio. Yeah, holidays, just nuts. I'm surprised that it's not like that. And it might just not have picked up yet, Kay. It might get there, so be prepared. But have those holiday challenges. You could also do, like I said, theme rides, even just artist-themed rides or a certain genre of music. You could have, make sure you have prizes for those challenges. You can even do like prizes for a challenge within a class one day. So if you, hit a certain power number based on, I don't know, whatever, I'd have to get creative with it, but you win a candy cane or something like, little things that get people excited to be in class with you. Get to know your riders, make sure you ask them when they're coming in next, things like that. Just the general stuff to get people in class will apply, but over the holidays, it's a little bit more fun because you can add a little flair to the challenges. So hopefully that gave you some ideas. If you need more ideas, honestly, just start following other gyms or studios in your area, see what they're doing. That's always how I do a little intel and get ideas for us is, sharing is caring, right? That's what this group is all about. You can follow studios in halfway across the country or whatever in different countries, see what they're doing, gets the ideas flowing, helps. So hopefully you got some ideas from that, and let me know if you have any questions. Happy to give you some more challenge ideas if you need them. Teresa asked, she was thinking about having business cards made. I liked this. What are your thoughts? I would want to put my own label on the back with my class times. I teach other group fitness besides indoor cycling. I love that idea. I think that's awesome. I would definitely have your name, your certifications, or the things that you teach. So indoor cycling, boot camp, Pilates, or something like that. Class times. Be careful with the class times. If it's anything like us, class times change once in a while. Going into different seasons and getting new instructors, things shift a little bit. You don't want to make 100 business cards with your class times on them and then, you change your class times. So maybe just have a link to the website, maybe put your email, your Instagram handle, your Facebook name, things like that, so people can find you. If you use Spotify, you could put your Spotify name on there. I know people are always asking where can they get my music, so that would be really helpful to have just for that, to hand them a business card so they can find my Spotify. Maybe put a little quote on it, like work hard, play hard, or rock your ride, something, that is that you associate with you and how you teach your classes. I think that's a really fun idea. I think it's awesome. I think it's a great way to hook a new rider who comes into your class, and you can hand them a business card on their way out. Keeps you in their head. It keeps them, paying attention to what you're doing, looking up your stuff. Easy access. Awesome. I think it's a great idea. Just be careful with, like I said, those class times. You don't want to hook yourself into a bunch of business cards with something that might change. So just be wary of anything that you might be changing in the future. Or maybe just don't order like a ton of business cards. Do like a trial few of them and see how it goes. Okay, long-winded. Sorry, guys. One more. Marie Andre. Sorry if I'm not saying that right. I'm injured, she says, and I've been teaching the entire class off bike. Kudos to you. That's awesome. The members don't mind it. Some can actually hear me better. No huffing and puffing, I guess. That's awesome. But it's me who's having a hard time. I don't feel excited at all. I have so much more energy when riding with them. How do I keep myself focused and excited about their workout? I don't want to be a boring instructor. First of all, I'm sure you're not boring. If you're able to teach a whole class off bike, that's impressive. Few things you can do. What I would do, number one, before everything else, get music that gets me pumped. Get music that gets me dancing. Get music that gets me, like, every time that song comes on, I'm ready to go. Because we all know that we have to be excited about our music to love the ride, right? If it's all music that we hate or that just doesn't get us jived to go, it's not going to be fun. So especially when you're off bike and you need that extra boost of energy, make sure you love your songs. They will love them if you love them. So just keep that in mind when you're building your playlists. It kind of applies all the time, but a lot of times we run out of songs and we just end up having to use what works. So just, pull your favorites and use those for now until you're better. I don't know what you're able to do, like what injury you have. If you're able to walk around and walk through the bikes, you could show them proper form off the bike. So maybe, it kind of mimic what their arms should look like, what their shoulders should look like, relaxing, really, go person to person, and you can see a lot closer when you're walking through the mistakes that they're making in their form. You'll probably be surprised at what you haven't noticed in the past because you haven't been so up close and personal. Pay attention to those things, help them adjust bike setup, adjust form. You could run drills and play like games. You could do like, Group A and Group B, they race each other and really get into it with them. Group A, let's go. And then Group B, you're all over the place kind of bringing their energy up when you're doing like a drill like that. So that's really fun. You could get really creative with your cueing and practice some new metaphors. I'm always trying to come up with new ways to explain different types of intensity so that it's a strong imagery or not even intensity, but maybe just what the road looks like. So I'll say, we're going up a hill, we're hitting some gravel, we're gonna have to hop up out of the saddle for 30 seconds, I want you to hold it as we go over that rocky gravel that we sit, something like that. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't, but it's a good time to practice that, right? Because you're gonna be able to have a long-winded explanation because you won't be out of breath. So that could be something that you take advantage of. You practice your cueing. Body language will be huge. Like I said, you're going to teach them kind of different ways to set up and hold that form on the floor. You'll still be able to teach them a lot and show them a lot of different things that maybe they can't see when you're up on the bike. And then you can practice names. So go through, if you don't already do this, and I highly recommend it, sometimes it's hard when you have a full class, go through at the beginning of class and get everyone's name so that when you're in class and you're with them and you're walking through the aisles, you can use names, and it makes them work a little bit harder, especially if you're right next to them when they say it. And the only other thing I would say is give them some time where you're not in their view. So maybe give them like a heavy hill and give them, a minute to themselves to just climb and exert themselves like crazy. And you step to the back so they can't see you, so they can just focus. Because it is a little bit distracting if you're off bike the whole class and they feel like they have to really just like focus on you and you're all over the place. Give them a break and just step out of you for a little bit and let them do their thing. So that will also give you a break to kind of reset and get your energy back and then come back in guns a-blazing. So, weird expression, but anyways. All right, guys, that is, I think, all that we got today. Let me just double check we don't have any other questions. If you missed these, don't worry, this is recorded. You can always go back and listen. I also put them all on YouTube, so if you guys want to go check, I think we have like 30-something Hoerner happy hours now listed up there, so if you ever need to search through some learning stuff, it's a good option. I'll link it in the comments so you have it. But okay, I think that's all we got. So I'm off next week out of the country. Remember, Iceland, Paris, give me those recommendations. And I will see you guys in two-ish weeks. I hope your classes get busy and crazy over those next 2 weeks, and we'll talk about it when I get back. All right, bye everybody, have a good day.